This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Thousands of workers at General Motors plants here in Indiana and across the country remain off the job. Now at 5 o'clock, we're breaking down the latest on contract negotiations in a live report.
Plus, a Metro police officer facing heat for the way he handled a student outside of an Indianapolis school. This morning, we're looking at the official list of criminal charges filed against him. But first, here at 5 o'clock, we do want to welcome you into Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. Meteorologist Todd Clausen here with the easiest gig in central Indiana. You just got sunshine for us.
Yeah, you know, it is. It's kind of on cruise control. I'm sure we'll make up for it here as we get into the winter months with some longer days with some snow. So we'll take the quiet days while we can here. As you walk out the door this morning, the only thing you really need to grab is the sunglasses. You do not have to worry about any rain gear, and you don't need the jacket here today with temperatures this morning that are currently sitting in the 60s and 70s. I will point out that there's a little bit of patchy fog. You notice it just changed there as we went into the top of the hour reading coming in there. And so it's going to fluctuate just a little bit. And it's not bad this morning. Just want to let you know that visibilities are just reduced a little bit in spots across northern parts of central Indiana where temperatures are running just a little bit cooler. That's why the fog is settling in up there. 62 in Peru compared to 65 in Bloomington. Otherwise, skies this morning are mainly clear. Here's your temperature trend. We warm really, really quickly once again throughout the morning hours. Should be into the low 80s early in the afternoon with high temperatures today, eventually topping off in the mid-80s. I know it says 82 there. That's model-driven data, but when it's so dry like this, you have to tack on a few more degrees because you warm so quickly. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's get a look at our traffic maps at this hour. I just want to remind you about that closure on the southeast side, westbound I-465. There you see some of the red. Closed between actually I-70 on the east side, I-65 on the south side, set to reopen this Saturday. So we'll keep you updated on that project. Right now, let's take a live look from our INDOT traffic camera down on the south side, I-65 at Main Street. This is in Greenwood. Good morning to you. Traffic in this area is moving along up to speed, both northbound and southbound. No crashes, no delays right now to slow you down.
Employees at General Motors facilities across the country still on strike this morning. Leaders of the United Auto Workers Union announced Sunday they were unable to reach a new labor agreement with the company. The strike impacts thousands of Hoosiers who work at plants in Indiana. Our Alyssa Donovan is live outside of the GM plant in Kokomo this morning. Alyssa, what are the workers there saying as we head into day 2 of this strike?
So right now there's about a dozen people outside of the plant, but yesterday I'm told at the peak there was about 50 or 60 people out here, and I'm here with Scott Dieterman. He's with the union. Tell me what's going through your minds today.
Well, we're just out here. We've been getting a lot of support from our fellow locals at Chrysler, 1166, 685. We're just trying to get us a fair deal for all of our workers. So we're just trying to get all the unity and support we can out here, and so far it's been awesome.
Now, we were talking earlier, you guys are seeing a decrease in pay while you are out here. Just tell me how that impacts you.
Well, you know, sometimes you just got to suck it up for the good of the whole membership, and we'll get through it. I mean, it's going to be tough on all of us, but I think the local community with the food banks and the support we're getting, it's been amazing, the step we've been brought already in 2 days. So we're just going to tighten our belts up and get through it.
And tell me again how long you've been working for this company.
I've been here for 20 years this year.
So you've really seen it through its ups and downs, and you've also seen it, at its peak. So when you're in this situation, what's going through your mind when you're not getting what you feel you should from a company you've worked for so long?
Well, we look at it like this, the company struggled on our last few contracts, and we gave and gave, and we stood to fight another day, and it's been record profits now for several years, and it's time to take a stand and get what we're owed.
All right. Well, thanks so much for chatting with us this morning. We're going to be out here with you guys this morning for the next couple hours, if that's okay. And right now, I'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much for that update. Here at 504, an IMPD officer is now facing criminal charges after allegedly punching a student, and that officer is due in court on November 1st. Cell phone video shows Officer Robert Lawson punching a teenager outside of Shortridge High School last month. He's charged with battery, obstruction of justice, perjury, false information, and official misconduct. Investigators say that the video and the witness statements directly contradict Officer Lawson's report.
There are a number of not only inaccuracies but false statements that relate to material facts, which is why we decided it was appropriate to file those additional charges against Officer Lawson. And we are hopeful that this sends a strong message to the community that we take these allegations very seriously, that these matters will be thoroughly investigated.
A statement from Indianapolis Public Schools says the superintendent and the board supports the decision. The district also says it's committed to providing a safe and secure learning environment for children. Well, we brought you the charges live on the RTV6 app around 12:30 yesterday afternoon. That's where you can also find in-depth coverage on this story, including statements from IMPD and the attorney representing the teen's family. Again, that's all in the RTV6 app.
Indiana's Attorney General says he will take part in the investigation of more than 2,000 fetal remains found in Illinois. The medically preserved remains were discovered at the home of a man known as one of Indiana's most prolific abortion doctors. Dr. Ulrich Klopfer died earlier this month. He ran abortion clinics in Fort Wayne, Gary, and South Bend. They all closed between 2013 and 2016. Right to Life leaders say they want justice for the people impacted by the devastating discovery.
To think of these children being preserved for whatever purposes is simply sickening. The discovery opens a flood of questions that simply must be answered. Why were these babies being preserved? When and where did these babies die? Did the mothers of these babies know their remains were going to be preserved?
Dr. Klopfer faced legal troubles while his clinics were still in operation. In 2012, he faced allegations of improper staffing and errors on state-mandated medical records. 2 years later, the Indiana Medical Licensing Board suspended his license for documentation errors and failing to exercise reasonable care.
This morning, 98 people across central Indiana will wake up as American citizens for the first time. Indiana State Museum hosted a naturalization ceremony this morning, the final step to becoming United States citizen. People representing 34 different countries took the oath of allegiance, including Seydou Kone from Mali.
Feel good, pretty good. A lot of work, a lot of stress, a lot of things.
Well, Kone tells RTV6 he looks forward to voting.
A new facility at Arsenal Technical High School will help train and guide the next generation of Indianapolis firefighters. On Monday, city, school, and department leaders cut the ribbon on a new training tower for the school's fire and rescue program. IFD Chief Ernest Malone says the tower is a valuable tool for the department and students.
We say we want the best and the brightest, and I think a lot of the best and the brightest are right here in this county and in this city. If we can let them know there's something here for them. So IFD wants kids like this to take a look at us before they move from our great city or do something different.
Students in the IPS Fire and Rescue Program learn skills that are taught at the Indianapolis Fire Department's Training Academy. They earn college credits in the course. The program started in 2012. The joys of online shopping. You don't have to get off your couch. You don't have to put on real clothes. You can be in your pajamas. And it's shipped directly to you. If it's Amazon Prime, you could get it in 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah, what would we do without it? Well, students through Area 31 Career Center, they're actually getting a chance to get ready for the supply chain industry. So all those goodies that you order are packed and ready to be sent right to your front door. Our own Aaron Lish is joining us live this morning outside of the warehouse where this is all taking place. And Aaron, we know this is a growing industry right here in Indiana.
Absolutely. I mean, Amazon, they are asking for more than 1,000 workers at their facility, their packing facility in Greenwood, and that's something that these students are keeping an eye on for those future careers. But while they're still in school, they are taking part in the program. It is supply chain logistics management, and this is through Area 31. They actually partnered with Vincennes University so they can use this warehouse. Students learn how to pick, they find the orders and they put them on the pallets, and they just don't throw things in boxes. They learn how to properly pack them for shipping, and something that these students really enjoy is working on the machines, training on forklifts, and then there's of course the managerial side. They have to learn how to do some team building, learn about ethics and critical thinking. They also have guest speakers come in from the industry, and they also get to go on company tours throughout the area here. All of this is getting students we talk to excited for a career in this industry.
I really didn't know what I wanted to do in life, but after taking this class, it's really interesting to me, like learning how warehouses work and how supply chains and all that work. It's actually really interesting. It's way more than I expected.
They get dual credits with VU and 4 industry credentials. Everything they learn sets them up for jobs like the entry-level picking and packing, to become drivers all the way to that managerial level. And at the end of the semester, they will actually meet with employees in hopes to get jobs right after graduation. And we're going to actually have a little bit more from students in the next half hour on how this is impacting them for a future career. Todd?
All right, thank you, Aaron. The time now is 5:10. As you walk out the door this morning, you're walking out once again to mild temperatures and dry conditions. We will have clear skies here across central Indiana throughout the morning rush, with temperatures that will be in the 60s for most of you, running a little bit warmer here in this city this morning. But here's the satellite radar picture, and the closest clouds we even have are across northwest Indiana. So that means we are going to see our temperatures run well above normal once again, with mostly sunny skies throughout the day today and a little bit of humidity mixed in. We're talking about high temperatures in the mid to upper 80s anywhere you go. In fact, some locations to the south, not out of the question, you could hit 90 degrees later on this afternoon. And one of the reasons why we continue to warm up so quickly, the ground is so dry, but we have no rain chances in the forecast here, at least until we get to the weekend. And even then on Sunday, we're only looking at about a 20% chance of some isolated storms flaring up. We'll talk more about this dry forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. An Oklahoma teen is in jail this morning after allegedly making threats to shoot up a high school. Just ahead on Good Morning Indiana, the lesson the teen says she was trying to teach her friends.
Plus, September is Baby Safety Month. After the break, how one national retailer is taking steps to help you make sure your child remains safe in the car.
And here at 5:11 on your Tuesday, we're keeping a close eye on your morning drive. This is on the east side, I-70 at Sherman Drive, where traffic is moving along just fine. No crashes and no delays. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this short break.
Airing Hoosiers only on RTV6.
Police in Tuscaloosa, Alabama say one of their officers has died after being injured in a shootout. Authorities say 40-year-old officer Dornell Cousette chased a wanted man inside a home when the suspect opened fire on Cousette. The officer had been on the city's police department for 13 years. The suspect was also wounded in the shootout. Officer Cousette is the 4th Alabama police officer to be killed in the line of duty this year. At 5:15, an 18-year-old in Oklahoma is in jail this morning after reportedly threatening to open fire inside a high school she once attended.
Now, authorities say that a co-worker told police that Alexis Wilson planned to, quote, shoot 400 people for fun at the school. When police interviewed Wilson at her home, they found an AK-47 and a 12-gauge shotgun. Police say that Wilson told them it was a misunderstanding and she was just trying to teach her co-worker to not be afraid of guns.
Days, times, you can't say stuff like that, and anytime that something is said like that, we're going to take it serious, and we're going to, investigate it to the fullest extent and make an arrest if possible, because, we do not want any of our schools getting shot up, as nobody does. And so we're going to do, everything that we can to prevent this.
Police say Wilson dropped out of high school in the 9th grade and that she had been bullied at the school.
The investigation into a deadly explosion at a center for people with disabilities continues this morning. The explosion killed one firefighter and injured 6 other people. Officials say they were checking out a complaint about a propane smell when the explosion happened. The explosion happened at the LEAP Center, which helps adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Sheriff's officials say the damage to the building is something they have never seen before.
I spent a year in Iraq. It's about the closest I can explain it. It was just total devastation. I've never seen destruction like that in my career. I've been in law enforcement 35 years. I've never seen anything like this before in my life, except overseas.
Officials say their preliminary investigation shows the explosion was likely caused by a propane or natural gas leak.
Well, the past August was the second hottest on record. That's according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association. The agency has been tracking global temperatures for 140 years. It says August was 1.66 degrees above the average over the last century. In fact, the 5 warmest Augusts have happened since 2014. 2016 was the warmest August ever recorded. recorded. Back here at home at 5:17, we do want to check in with Todd and see what we can expect in our forecast for today. Hey, Todd.
Yeah, not much in our forecast besides sunshine and heat. I'll quickly touch on Humberto here as it continues to pull away from the U.S. coastline. That's good news. Some rough surf today still along the Carolina coast, and they'll get a little rough surf in Bermuda, but Bermuda will not get a direct hit from that Category 1 storm. So it will be really a non-player here over the course of the next 24 hours. Here closer to home, your weather headlines. We are just stuck in this dry and sunny pattern, and not much is going to change here, unfortunately, as we go throughout the course of the remainder of the week, as the temperatures will remain well above normal, both for your daytime highs and your overnight lows, and we really need some rainfall across the area. I know some of you had some showers on Sunday to the north. Those did not make it here into the metro area or points down to the south. So skies are clear this morning, 68 degrees. That is the current temperature. The dew point is in the mid-60s, so that's getting a little uncomfortable. And that wind is out there as well, helping to mix things up. So while it was hot yesterday, it wasn't just that stagnant heat with the humidity around. And that breeze should be with us here through a good portion of the day today as well. So we're in the 60s anywhere you go now. 62 in Crawfordsville, 63 in Tipton. Greensburg, you're at 65 degrees in those temperatures. They may go down another degree or two here this morning before we start to climb once the sun comes up. Sunrise, by the way, not until just before 7:30 now this time of year. So this clear skies are with us. There's a little bit of cloud cover across northern portions of the state, and that is just about it. And then a little more in the way of cloud cover back off to the northwest, where you find the only showers that we have on the map, and that's close to the Minneapolis area. So it's a sun-filled day. When the sun comes up, we will warm very, very quickly. We make the big jump throughout the morning hours into the upper 70s, and then eventually into the upper 80s later on this afternoon, with temperatures that will eventually cool into the 70s this evening. If you have plans, you are just fine. Then overnight tonight, it actually does cool down into the 50s in some of the outlying areas. A little bit warmer, though, in the city at 66. And then throughout the day tomorrow, it's another sun-filled day from start to finish. Maybe a degree or two cooler tomorrow with highs in the mid-80s. But overall, it is going to be a pretty nice day with all the sunshine that we have around. So here's your 7-day planning forecast. And it's a sun-filled one from start to finish. Once we get to the weekend, there will be a cold front that arrives. Right now, it looks like it's going to hold off until Sunday. That's when I'll bring in the chance of some spotty storms. And then behind that front, a little bit cooler as we head into the day on Monday with a high temperature of 80 degrees.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We're keeping a close eye on traffic for your Tuesday morning commute. Here's a live look at I-69 and State Road 38, the Pendleton area, where we have some long-term construction. That's why you see some orange barrels there on your screen. Overall, though, everything here is traveling up to speed, still pretty quiet early this morning, so no issues there to slow you down. Let's take a look at our map and plan out your drive, though, right now. Heading in from the west side along I-70, starting at Ronald Reagan Parkway near the airport, all the way into the south split, I-65 here. You can expect just a 12-minute commute, so everything there is moving along just fine. No crashes, no delays around the metro area right now to slow you down.
This year's updated medical guidelines suggest daily aspirin is too risky for most healthy people. But a new study says some people can benefit. The new guidelines show daily aspirin can be a lifesaver for patients who have had a heart attack, stroke, or open heart surgery. But for many patients, the blood thinning effect could cause a major bleeding event. Despite the guidelines, a new study finds aspirin reduces the risk of heart issues for at-risk patients. The study concluded the benefits of aspirin outweigh the harms associated with the bleeding risk. Always remember to consult your doctor to determine your best treatment plan.
Well, September is National Baby Safety Month, and Walmart is using the opportunity to collect old car seats. Customers can trade in the car seat their child has outgrown for a $30 Walmart gift card. The Superstore is partnering with recycling business TerraCycle to help keep car seats out of landfills. There's a 2-car seat trade-in limit per household. You can go to the Walmart website for a list of participating locations. The events will go through September 30th. Well, Indiana City is near the top when it comes to the best places to live in the country.
After the break, which other Hoosier towns also made the list? We'll be right back.
Drive at Honda of Fishers.
A national publication says a central Indiana city is one of the best places to live in the entire country. Money.com just listed Fishers as the third best place to live in the country. The website used economic health, cost of living, diversity, and amenities to compile the list. Clarksville, Tennessee, and Round Rock, Texas rounded out the top three. Eagle Creek made the list at 32, and Fort Wayne came in at number 72.
Well, you may soon be able to plan a vacation in space. The Gateway Foundation released its design for the Space Hotel this week. It looks like a rotating wheel, and it includes 24 modules that orbit Earth. The wheel's rotation would create a simulated gravity. The hotel design is named for Wernher von Braun. The foundation hopes to get the hotel off the ground by 2025. That could make it fully operational by 2027.
You know what that is very reminiscent of, Lauren?
What?
Where Xenon lives.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
That looks exactly like the
whatever they called it.
Big
place that they
lived. I don't know if you'd consider it a city, a space city, or what. And that went right over your head.
I have no idea what you're talking
Girl,
about.
The 21st
90s
century.
Kids.
Big fans.
90s kids stuff. Yes.
All right. So in the forecast today, though, Todd, people may want to stick around Indiana because it's pretty nice out there.
Yeah, you know, it's great weather to get outside. I know it's a little warm, but it's not that oppressive humidity out there or the oppressive heat. And you'll have lots of sunshine. That's the good news. So as you walk out the door this morning, temperatures are currently in the 60s. We'll warm quickly here once again today with plenty of sunshine all the way up into the mid-80s already by the noon hour. So it's going to be a warm one out there. Eventually highs near 90 degrees. The time now is 5:27. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Day at 10 on RTV6. This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
GM workers are on strike for the second day as a contract deal has not been made. The effect it's having on thousands of Hoosiers.
And a teen has been arrested after multiple vehicles in Greenwood were reported stolen. Why police are still looking for others involved.
But first, here on our Tuesday, we do want to talk about the weather.
Yeah, not much going on, which is a bit of a good thing, I suppose, Todd. But we do need some rainfall, and we're not going to see that for a few more days.
Yeah, it's not until the weekend that we bring in the chance of some storms here in this forecast. So until then, we are high and dry, and you can kind of put the umbrella away and just break out the sunglasses and keep them out. Your outdoor workout is also good to go at any point here throughout the day. Today, obviously, it'll be a little bit warmer later on this afternoon. So if you want cooler temperatures, the morning is when you should get out and about. Been keeping an eye on this visibility map for you, and these visibilities keep fluctuating. Bloomington now, some patchy fog has settled in down to 3/4 of a mile visibility. It's a half mile up in Gary, and in around the metro area, we're still in decent shape. But again, it's not out of the question that fog can kind of move around a little bit here this morning. So just be aware of it as you take to the roads. Otherwise, skies are mainly clear. We warmed quickly this morning with all that sunshine through the 70s into the low 80s already by the noon hour. And then eventually, as we get into the afternoon, we'll see our highs top off in the upper 80s.
All right, Todd, thanks so much for keeping a close eye on traffic on this Tuesday. And this is a live look at I-70 a little east of the airport ramps. You can see lots of headlights out that way, so traffic is picking up. If you're heading out to catch a flight this morning, just a heads up to that. But it looks like everything is still moving along up to speed. And if you're in that area, let's take a look at some drive times. Maybe you're leaving the airport heading towards the downtown area. On eastbound I-70, it's just a 12-minute drive from Ronald Reagan Parkway to I-65 at the South Split. No problems there. Looking in the downtown area, let's get a live picture from our INDOT traffic camera at the North Split. You can see lots of headlights up that way as well. So traffic is starting to move here on our Tuesday at this early time, but no crashes right here in the metro area, so that is great news. Well, here at 532, employees at General Motors facilities all across the country, they're still on strike this morning. Leaders of the United Auto Workers Union announcing Sunday that they were unable to reach a new labor agreement with that company.
The strike impacts thousands of Hoosiers who work at plants in Indiana. Our Alyssa Donovan is live outside the GM plant in Kokomo this morning. Alyssa, workers are out there, and what are they saying as we head into day 2 of this strike?
So you know what, they are holding strong. There's about a dozen people out here right now this morning. You can see that, but I'm told that they've had people here around the clock, and they, of course, just want this to come to an end. You can hear tons of support just driving by, even at this early hour. And I'm here with Scott. He's with the union. Tell me, what do you guys want?
We just want a fair deal. You know, it's been a long time coming. The company went through some struggles, and they've record profits, and we've gave, and it's time to get back what we've lost in the past.
And why is it time right now?
Well, that's a good question. I'll just go with no comment. How's that?
All right, no comment. And tell me, how will a fair deal help you and your families here in Indiana?
Well, it secures our future. You know, this is a union town. It's always been a union town, and we've brought all our locals together, and it's time. We've got to dig in. We've got to stop the bleeding. It's jobs leaving the country at a rapid click.
And Scott, you said you guys have gotten a lot of community support in just the past day.
Absolutely. Tons of food, drinks, donations around the clock. We're starting a food bank now just because we've gotten so much food. So it's been overwhelming. 685, 1166. We've had railroad union support. Every union you can think of has been out here at some point tonight. So it's been awesome.
Yeah. And you said the Chrysler plant as well.
Absolutely. Chrysler's been great.
So what does that mean to you guys to have that kind of support?
It just shows the unity. It just shows you what the union's all about, and it's time to get back to it. You know, it's been a rough go for us the last 10 years. So it's nice that, you know, the industry's picking up, and we want a future for our kids, our grandkids. This is our hometown.
All right, thank you so much, Scott. I'll let you get back to it. And Scott tells me he's actually been with GM, this components plant, for 20 years. Another woman here told me she's been with it for about a decade. So a lot of these people have been with GM for a long time. And of course, as he said, they just want what they think is fair. And the main thing, of course, is higher wages and health care plans, as well as some changes that will make it a little bit better for their workers here in those plants. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Alyssa, thanks for that update. Time right now is 5:35, and police arrested a 15-year-old boy in connection to a shooting that happened near Purdue University. The shooting happened on Sunday at the Hub apartment building, leaving 2 people hurt. Their conditions are unknown at this time, and the teen was taken to the Tippecanoe County Juvenile Detention Center on multiple preliminary charges that include battery with a deadly weapon.
An 18-year-old is under arrest, accused of stealing cars and other items in 2 Greenfield neighborhoods. Carl Mays Jr. is facing charges for auto theft and theft. Officers say they found 3 of the 4 stolen vehicles near West Washington Street and Belmont Avenue on Indianapolis's west side. The vehicles were taken from the Liberty Shores neighborhood and the Chapman Estates neighborhood in Greenfield this month. Surveillance video captured several suspects, so police are still trying to find the others who may have been involved. Meanwhile, in Fortville, police are warning residents to lock their car doors and take all valuables inside. In a Facebook post, the department says there were numerous reports of car break-ins on Sunday night. The post asks residents to report any suspicious activity they might notice as it's happening.
Well, neighborhood noise complaints and growing pains in Fountain Square are causing some loud evenings, noisy mornings for some residents who live in this area. It's all thanks to a number of construction projects that are happening right now. Barbara Janiak says her once quiet Fountain Square neighborhood is now home to unwanted noise as construction crews build those new homes up and down her street. She says the loud noises usually come to a rest around 10 at night and until 7 in the morning. Well, when the city's noise ordinance kicks in, that's when things start getting loud again. Now every bang, boom, and pop has her wanting the city to start the noise ordinance much earlier in the day.
Growth has become perpetual construction activities for greater than the past few years, to be honest. And lately, it's just reached an escalation point in terms of noise and the heavy construction vehicles that are coming up and down the streets and alleyways at all hours of the day, and there doesn't seem to be any end.
RTV6 took her concerns to City Councilor Zach Adamson, who says since the construction crews do not appear to be breaking any rules or laws, the best thing to do is just to have a conversation with those crews. United States Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos will meet with students right here in Indianapolis today. She'll visit Purdue Polytechnic High School in downtown Indy to discuss the importance of STEM programs in education. Indianapolis is the second stop on her 2019 back-to-school tour, which kicked off yesterday in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
It is the best feeling when a package arrives at your doorstep that you've been waiting to get your hands on. But how does it get from clicking on the confirm button to the shipping truck? Well, outside outside of Vincennes University Logistics Center is our Erin Lish. She's live with more on a supply chain program through the Area 31 Career Center. And Erin, we know there is a major need for more people in this industry, so they're recruiting kids younger and younger to learn all about it.
They really are. And, you know, over in Greenwood, Amazon's already asking for thousands of new employees at their packing center. Again, Hoosier Logistics also adding some new jobs in this industry. And students, they're taking notice and hoping to step into those roles.
And so what type of material would be first expired, first out?
Instructors break down critical components of supply chain logistic management before they head to the warehouse.
Therefore, we want to make sure that we have the opportunity to get the best product at the best price.
Where students like Jeremiah Park are learning the skills needed to succeed in this industry.
Pack boxes, picking, receiving, proper way to load.
They gained dual credit from Vincennes University and 4 industry credentials, which caught Bryce Kern's attention.
You make a lot more money if you have certifications like your forklift license and stuff. So it just kind of made sense that I can get this before I even leave high school, before I even get in the workforce.
Senior Michael Wilcox says this program is a big eye-opener.
We go around, we take tours of different facilities. It allows me to connect to what the real world is.
There are thousands of job openings in this industry here in Indiana, according to those in logistics.
There's more and more employers coming to the area. There's more and more people purchasing stuff online. There's more and more need for faster, cheaper, more direct shipping routes.
And as the industry is growing, so is students' curiosity in this becoming their future careers.
It's actually really interesting. It's way more than I expected.
So students at Area 31 Career Center, at the end of the semester, they will get to meet with employers with the possibility of leaving high school after graduation with a full-time job in place. And something else to note, if you are that adult and hoping to switch into a new industry, Vincennes University Logistics team, they say you can also join in on this program. Back to you in the studio.
Erin, thank you. The Indiana Department of Transportation is holding a statewide hiring fair today as they look to fill 100 jobs. In Indianapolis, the fair will be held on the east side at their location on Brookville Road. It runs from 10 to 3 this afternoon. They are looking to fill both seasonal and full-time positions. If you would like to apply at the fair, you're asked to bring proof of a commercial driver's license and a high school diploma or GED. At 20 to 6 on your Tuesday morning, Todd's got a look at what the temps are like as you step out the door.
Yeah, as you walk out the door, you are walking out to temperatures that are actually pretty comfortable here this morning. We're sitting in the 60s in many locations, and we're going to see these temperatures kind of stay where they are with a little bit of patchy fog this morning until the sun comes up. But once the sun does come up, which is 7:30 now this time of year, right around there, then we'll start to see our temperatures moderate pretty quickly through the 70s and eventually into the 80s. So if you're thinking about heading out and about for lunch, skies will be mostly sunny at that point. Warming, though, with temperatures that'll be eventually topping off at the noon hour right around 81, and then we'll continue to warm from there all the way into the mid to upper 80s. So it's going to be a hot day and a dry day, which means great weather. If you want to head out for the car wash, we'll give you the green light not only today, but tomorrow and Thursday as well, with mostly sunny skies. We'll talk more about the extended forecast and finally some changes heading our way by the weekend coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Tensions continue to rise between the U.S. and Iran after attacks on Saudi Arabian oil. Coming up, how President Trump is responding and the effect it has projected to have at the pump.
And the effects of vaping have left another person dead. After the break, why the CDC is now activating an emergency response center.
And it's 5:42. We're keeping a close eye on traffic. Here's a live look right now at I-70 near the airport ramps. We have lots of headlights this morning. Traffic's moving along up to speed, though. Stay with us. We'll have your full traffic report coming up right after the break.
Duty designed for impossible stains.
Now to the latest in the Gulf. After the United States blamed Iran for an attack on the world's largest oil refinery in Saudi Arabia, President Trump now taking a more careful tone in how the U.S. could move forward. After President Trump responded, the U.S. was locked and loaded following the attack that crippled this massive Saudi oil facility. The president is now choosing more cautious wording when asked about his message for Iran. A senior U.S. official says both a drone and a cruise missile used in the strike have have been found mostly intact, which could provide stronger confirmation of who's responsible. Saudi officials also say the initial information shows the weapons are Iranian.
I think I'll have a stronger message, or maybe no message at all, when we get the final results of what we're looking at. But right now, it's too soon to say.
A big impact is also expected here at home on gas prices. Analysts are predicting a jump of as much as 25 cents a gallon in the coming weeks.
At 5:46, vaping has led to the death of a 7th person here in the United States, and now the CDC has activated its Emergency Operations Center in response. The center will aim to improve the response to e-cigarette health threats. Lung disease cases have been linked to vaping in 36 states. Several U.S. senators are also calling for action, demanding that those online marketplaces like eBay and Craigslist stop selling vaping products to teens.
5 million high school students across the United States are using vaping products. That's how serious this conversation is.
Well, the most recent death is the second in California. The state is now imposing stricter age verification for tobacco products and launching a $20 million social media campaign to help educate people about the dangers of vaping. Coming up in about 5 minutes, we're going to take a look at new concerns the CDC has about vaping products that contain CBD.
A wildfire in Colorado continues to burn after a truck fire spread Sunday. The McNay fire has burned 542 acres. Fire crews are using airplanes and ground crews to put out the fire. So far, it's 77% contained, and voluntary evacuations have been lifted. There have been no reports of injuries or damaged buildings. Here at home, it has been dry. We have not seen hardly any rain this month, Todd.
Yeah, officially at the airport in Indianapolis, 1/100th of an inch, so hardly anything at all. That's not even enough to wet the ground. Other locations have seen a little bit more, but it's all about the heat here as we go throughout the course of the remainder of the week. The air conditioners will be going, the fans will be going as well. Our normal high is usually in the mid-70s this time of year. It's officially 77, but I wrote mid-70s there because as we go throughout the week, that average high temperature actually falls pretty quickly, and by the end of the month, the average high is only right around 72, and we're going to be running in the upper 80s through at least Friday, and there's really no rain in this forecast until we get to the weekend, and that's when a cold front is going to arrive, bringing the chance of maybe just some scattered storms. We're not looking at any widespread rainfall. So visibility is reduced in some areas and around the Bloomington area. The visibility has been fluctuating a little bit. The official reading 2 miles right now at the airport just there west of town. But as you work your way into southern Monroe County, we're dealing with a little bit of a visibility issue. And then there's some pockets of minor fog as you work your way through the Greenfield area up towards Muncie. So just be aware of it. It's not terrible. It's not super dense. In fact, as you look from IMS towards downtown Indianapolis, you can still see the skyline. So that just shows you the visibility downtown is not bad whatsoever. 68 degrees. And that is the current temperature. A bit of a breeze out there this morning at 8 miles per hour. And that northeast wind, we had it yesterday as well. And that kind of mixed up the air a little bit. It wasn't just that stagnant air that we had with all the heat and humidity. So that wind will be with us again this afternoon, which will help things out. 64 right now in Bloomington. 62 is the current temperature in Tipton, and just a high thin cloud cover up to the north, and that is just about it. We really don't have any rain anywhere in the vicinity of central Indiana as high pressure is firmly in control. So here's how your temperatures break down for you hour by hour throughout the day today. We'll climb quickly through the 70s this morning and eventually into the 80s by the noon hour. 84 degrees by 2 p.m. and then high temperatures this afternoon will top off in the upper 80s this evening. Sunset now is at 7:51. Skies will be partly cloudy. Temperatures in the 70s. Tomorrow we just do it all over again with mostly sunny skies and temperatures that'll top off in the upper 80s. If you think I've been saying that a lot, I have. I'm getting sick of saying it as well for you. But it's not going to change here throughout the course of the week, as we'll see highs right around 88 Thursday and Friday. Then there's that change by the time we get to the weekend as that cold front is set to arrive. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thanks so much. And you mentioned the weekend, and we want to look ahead to the weekend. That's when this area of the interstate will reopen, scheduled to reopen Saturday. But for right now, you still need to avoid southbound, westbound I-465. You see the red there on the screen. That's closed for some road work between I-70 on the east side and I-65 on the south side. Also, if you're you're on I-74, you will not be able to get on that ramp in the area. You'll have to take a detour route. Of course, it's all in the RTV6 app. But right now, let's take a look in the downtown area. I-70 here at the North Split, where traffic is picking up already this morning, but it's moving along just fine. No crashes, no delays right now around the metro area for your Tuesday morning commute.
Lauren, thank you. General Mills is pulling pounds and pounds of flour off shelves after concerns of E. coli. This is the package the companies say consumers need to check. Yesterday, General Mills announced it was voluntarily recalling 5-pound bags of its gold medal unbleached all-purpose flour. Only flour with the used by date of September 6, 2020 is affected. No illnesses have been confirmed, but General Mills says anyone with this flour should throw it away.
Well, as the CDC investigates vape products, they found new issues with those containing CBD. An investigation shows that some of the products that claim to have CBD either don't have it at all, or they also contain illegal synthetic marijuana, also known as K12 or spice. Experts say those who create the drug keep changing the formula, which makes it really hard to regulate.
You have a lot of companies out there right now selling 10,000 milligrams in one bottle for $10. The only way how that can be done is to have questionable ingredients in it, okay? Either those cannabinoids coming from China, which you never know what they are, or the product is not what it says, you know.
Well, the American Association of Poison Control Centers says 70% of CBD products are mislabeled, and they're considered an emerging hazard.
Bud Light is making a special offer for aliens. Next, the limited edition cans centered around Area 51. We'll be right back.
And apply for jobs at fightplumbing.com.
Well, Bud Light is offering free beer to aliens. The company released new Area 51 cans to welcome any aliens who escape the top secret Air Force base. There's even a limited edition alien pack with shirts, koozies, hats, and jackets. It's all in response to a viral Facebook post event, Storm Area 51. The event was just started as a joke by a California student, and it quickly had over 3 million people interested. The exclusive beer cans are only sold in Nevada, California, and Arizona. All right, back here in the forecast, though, it's something everyone's talking about, how it's just staying like summer out there, Todd.
Yeah, you know, and as I was riding my bike yesterday, a lot of the trees on the Monon, they're dropping their leaves because that's the response to the dry conditions out there. So if this continues, I don't think the fall colors are going to be all that great, unfortunately. We need some rainfall out there. 68 right now in Indy, 63 in Bloomington. Radar is quiet. There's no rain in this forecast until the weekend on Sunday. I think that's our best opportunity to pick up some showers and storms. So plenty of sunshine here throughout the day today as our temperatures continue to run well above normal as our high today climbs all the way up to 87 degrees.
Todd, thank you. Coming up in the next half hour, an Indianapolis police officer is facing heat for the way he handled a student outside of an Indianapolis school. We take a look at the criminal charges now filed against him.
And later, 2 people charged with burning an American flag in Fishers on the 4th of July will be back in a courtroom today. The case has caught the attention of the ACLU.
And it is 5:57 on your Tuesday morning. It is 68 degrees currently in the Circle City. This is a live look before the sun rises. We'll have much more coming up after the break.